Take 5003. 3, 2, 1, go. That's gonna be really awkward to sync up. Hello lovely people of the world, I'm here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Underworld. In the previous episode, we've reached the end of the ruins of Bogavati, and discovered that Laura's father had already been there before. He destroyed the archaeological site to keep it away from Natla, but before he did that, he took the artifacts to Croft Manor, so that's pretty neat. In today's episode, we'll be going beneath Croft Manor to try to figure out where he hid those artifacts. So that's something that's going to be pretty well worth mentioning, and what's also well worth mentioning is the fact that you may be wondering why we're playing on the Wii version in this episode and not Xbox 360. The reason for that is because this level, Protected by the Dead, is so different between the two versions that I figured it would be easier to just split them into separate episodes. What we've been doing throughout this Let's Play is we've been focusing on Xbox 360 and having the Wii gameplay show up occasionally when there was something different. But, like I said, this entire level is so different that I figured it would be easier to just split them into separate episodes. Artifact over here, but I'd like to remind you that I'm not going to be going for every single artifact in this level, in the Wii version of Underworld. The reason for that is because, as I mentioned in the past, you don't get anything for collecting rewards or anything like that. So I'm just going to be picking up the rewards that I remember off the top of my head. But I'm not going to be making it the focus of this level video thingy like I do for the previous episodes. So, one other thing I want to mention is, well, first of all, we go up here, and this room right here, fun story. My first playthrough, I got stuck here for so long. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to backtrack and go into this cave over here. And it's kind of a dumb placement for the cave, I'll be completely honest. But, going back to what I was saying a moment ago. To keep things from being too redundant for people who are binge watching this Let's Play or anything like that, or just watching for fun or whatever. I don't know what you guys do when you watch these videos. To keep things from being too redundant, I would not be demonstrating any cutscenes in this level in this episode. But all of the cutscenes are identical between two versions, and all of them will be demonstrated in the next episode, so you don't have to worry about that. So what we want to do, go down here, and jump backwards. Yay! There's a reward over here that's going to be completely pointless. And I like how the rewards, they probably didn't do this, but this is what I always think when I see them. I kind of like how they look like palette swaps of the lead bars from Midas' Palace and 200th Anniversary. That's just something I always thought was pretty amusing. That's probably not the case, but that's just what I always think. Although to be completely fair, it's not like it's entirely all that hard to model a rectangular object and just put like a different coat of paint on, whatever. I'm getting very sidetracked. This room right here, I have a pretty fun story about this room in particular. This, when I was planning out my Let's Play for Tomb Raider Underworld, the entire story of it is pretty interesting, and I'll get to that. But this room right here kind of played a pretty big role in me deciding to make this a hybrid series between Xbox 360 and Wii. And what I mean by that is, when I was doing my research, my original plan was to have this Let's Play only focus on the Wii version of Tomb Raider Underworld, because at the time, that was the only version I owned. So, my original plan was to only focus on the Wii version, so when I was doing research, I was watching another person's walkthrough of this game to kind of remind myself of where certain rewards were located at, and if there was any additional information that I needed before starting my own Let's Play. And the thing is, in the video where it's showing off of what you need to do to complete this room, there was a comment in that walkthrough saying how this entire part of the level was not in the Xbox 360 version at all. And when I saw that, I just couldn't stop thinking about what else was different between the two versions. So when I was thinking about this Let's Play further, I decided to make this a hybrid series between Xbox 360 and the Wii. And if you want an idea of when this happened, the first time that I publicly showed interest in Let's Playing this game was during my 100 subscriber special back in 2015. So yeah, this Let's Play has been in the works for quite a while. Technically speaking, oh, ouchie. Oh, that was painful. So as I was saying a moment ago, technically speaking, Earthbound was the game that took me the longest to plan out. because it was like 2 years of me just continuously doing research on that game. So that was a pretty fun experience. But if you want to be really specific, if you want to be really technical, then Tomb Raider Underworld was a game that took me the longest because, like I said, the first time that I showed public interest in doing this game as a Let's Play was back in 2015. So that's something that's going to be pretty amusing. So continuing on with that story, when I decided to make this like a hybrid series between the Xbox 360 and the Wii, again, back then I didn't own the Xbox 360 version, so I got the PC version thinking I could record that, and realized that my computer could barely run the game, so that's why I decided to get the Xbox 360 version of this game. And it eventually just grew and grew into the Tomb Raider Trilogy project when I decided that I was going to be redoing my Legend Anniversary Let's Plays. So that's how the Tomb Raider Trilogy project became what it is today. So that's a pretty fun story. So after we open up the water well, we can go back over into this area over here and pause for effect. Open sesame! I always like that part in SpongeBob when they're in Sandy's tree dome and Patrick is all like, poof, poof, open sesame! I swear, the animation quality in those early SpongeBob episodes were amazing. But anyway, going back over this area, now that the door of our destiny has been opened, we can go through our merry way through our path of glory and go this way. And that was kind of a run-on sentence because I thought this tunnel would be over by now, but no, it's not because they needed more time to reload the next room. As you can see, the ceiling in the area in the next room wasn't even fully loaded by the time we could see the area, so that was pretty amusing. But anyway, this room right here, technically speaking, this is in both versions of the game. I say that like there's only 2 versions of Tomb Raider Underworld, but no, there's multiple. We're only playing through 2 of them in this Let's Play. But, as I was trying to say before I interrupted myself, because I'm rude, this room is in both this room is in both the Wii and Xbox 360 version of this game, but it works pretty differently in both versions. Grab the stupid ledge! I never have this much trouble with that ledge, but okay. Fun story. This is the 8th time I'm trying to record this one video, because between the combination of just getting interrupted by people and me not being able to go through my intro and stuff like that, and I'm trying to platform through this area and getting so frustrated that I just reset the entire thing. This is my 8th time trying to record this one video. You better appreciate it! Alright, going back over here, we have a Wii exclusive puzzle, the Scene Cog. We've seen this before, not really all that special. It's pretty interesting, and I do hope they expand upon this in a future Tomb Raider game, because I could totally see how they could do this for the Nintendo Switch. But I highly doubt that's going to happen because I doubt they're going to release the more violent Tomb Raider games on the Nintendo Switch. It would be awesome if they did that, but I doubt it because video game companies don't love me anymore. Also, this gate right here, fun story, on one of the field recordings, I was pointing out the fact that the gate opens when it's behind the rock during that little cutscene right there. So I was like kind of joking, wondering if they even bothered animating the door opening. But no, you can very clearly see it opening, so I don't know what I was trying to say during that field recording, and I don't know what I'm trying to say right now by repeating that story, because you wouldn't know about that stupidity if I hadn't repeated it just now. But anyway, going down here, we have another Wii exclusive puzzle, and this one's kind of weird. What you want to do is hold the A button and move your remote downwards and stuff like that to move these characters around. And this one kind of controls a little weird. I'm not a big fan of this one. This is honestly... Well, I was going to say that because... I was going to say it's my absolute least favorite because there's some pretty weird ones we'll see. Go upwards! Go upwards. There we go. Okay, that's what I was trying to say when I was trying to say that the controls for this thingy are weird. Go upwards. I always seem to have trouble getting this thing to go upwards of all things. I don't know why. Go upwards! Go upwards! Up! That is the direction opposite of down! Okay then! Now that we finally did that, the magical lever of leverness will magically appear, and it is super shiny and amazing. Yay, a bite! Super exciting! Yay! We want to spin it around, and eventually we'll create little angel wings. That's pretty cute. So let's jump over here, use our grappling hook, swing over there, and land on the platform. Yay! Another reward over here if you want to go grab it, except I didn't because I feel like platforming. A little heads up, in a moment I'm going to be demonstrating some miscellaneous differences between this and the Xbox 360 version that don't really fit anywhere else. So after we grab this reward, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to open up the PDA to demonstrate what this is like in the Wii version. So you have this sitcam, which is this game's version of a sonar map, excuse me. It basically shows you pictures of this area, and it's not really all that useful. It's probably even more useless than the sonar map, to be completely honest. Inventory right there, field assistance if you need advice on how to figure out the puzzles. And that gray dial revisit location thing, what's really weird about it is it stays there in your PDA for a long time, but you can't access it until you're very close to beating the game. I don't remember exactly when it becomes available, but it becomes available so late into the game that it's kind of pointless, to be completely honest, and I'm not a big fan of it. Okay, I think I may have messed this up. What do you want to do? Okay, let's move this around. Yeah, we'll take care of this. It's not that big of a deal. No, I said go up, 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 up. There we go! It's always trying to go upwards that makes that thing not want to work, and it really frustrates me. So we can go over here, and right there you may have noticed that we're pressing the minus button to interact with these objects. That's something that I want to talk about real quick, because I can't really exactly say this is my absolute least favorite in all the Tomb Raider games, because I haven't played Angel of Darkness, and I've heard that game has pretty bad controls. But of all the Tomb Raider games I've played, I think the Wii version of Underworld may very well have my least favorite controls in the entire series. Because for some reason, they mapped most of your controls to the minus button, which is probably the dumbest place they could have done, because it's placed in a very weird position on the Wii Remote, and it's not really that comfortable to reach from the jump button to the minus button, as easy as it is to reach from the A button to down the D-pad like you could on Tomb Raider Anniversary on the Wii. So a lot of your actions are mapped to the minus button, and it's just such an awkward place. Also, like I said, we're skipping cutscenes and things like that. And, well, actually, I'll go back to the controls in a moment, because we have some new enemies right here. These are Thralls. I'm going to be going over more about these in the next episode when we see how important they are for the story. But what I'll say right now is they will come back to life if you're not quick enough when they fall down. They don't have a whole lot of HP on the Wii version. They're a lot harder on the HD versions, so just keep that in mind. But when they're down, you can press the A button to stomp them, or you can press the plus button to throw a grenade at them, and that will cause them to explode as well. And it will also cause the waifu to explode. Great job, Lady Gyarados. Alright, so now that we've taken care of those guys, like I said a moment ago, we're going to be talking more about those Thrall enemies in the next episode when we're actually doing story progress. But real quick, I want to go around here somewhere. It's around here. This over here is probably one of the weirdest and honestly one of the most pointless Wii puzzles in the entire game. Use your torch and just do that. It's very simple. It's kind of pointless, to be completely honest. I don't know why they put that there. But it's neat. Kind of. Maybe. Not really. No, it's not. And something kind of weird about this room is that that ledge over there looks like there should be a reward, but there isn't. And it's really weird. There is a reward there in the Xbox 360 version, which we'll be demonstrating in the next episode. But that's just something that I wanted to bring to your attention real quick. So we can move this giant column around. During that cutscene, we got the second gauntlet from Thor, so that's something that's going to be pretty well worth mentioning. And like I said, playing times already, we're not demonstrating cutscenes in this episode, so the real story progress will be made in the next episode. This video is just going to be demonstrating the differences in the Wii version, and I don't know why I'm explaining all this like 20 minutes into the video or something like that. But anyway, well, going back to my problem with the controls in this game, the really weird thing is I really liked how they did the controls. Why'd you go that way? Go this way. No, bad, Laura, bad. You want to go over here. You want to fall the other side of the platform. Why are you going that way? Seriously, go the other way. Go the other. Okay, I'm just gonna jump back over here and just try jumping out from this angle. In case you couldn't tell, the Wii version of this game is very buggy. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the Wii version of this game is particularly buggy. I think the PlayStation 2 version is a little bit worse. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head because I don't own the PlayStation 2 version. But, yeah. That's the best way to end a sentence. And, yeah. Skipping cutscenes! Woo! Alright. Before we do anything else, I want to turn... excuse me. I want to turn around real quick and demonstrate this right here. This is something that's pretty interesting about Tomb Raider Underworld. You can go back through this area and come back into this room and go back and backtrack if you want to go collect more rewards and things like that. So if you missed any rewards, you do have another chance to go grab them again before you end off the level. And I'm not going to be continuing on the level right here. This is where we're going to be ending off the episode. But before we do that, going back to this tunnel right here, something kind of funny is, during the prologue of this game, this tunnel is still open, but some rocks have collapsed into the tunnel so you can't progress any further, but those rocks are not there at this point in the game, so you can go back and re-explore that area all you want, so that's pretty interesting. But we're in this video off here, so thank you all so much for watching this video of Tomb Raider Underworld. In the next episode, we're going to play through this level again on the Xbox 360 version and actually doing some progress in the main story. So thank you all so much for watching this video of Tomb Raider Underworld, and until next time, we'll get rid of you. Oh yeah.
Croft Manor Crypt. In Bhagavati, father inscribed a message that read, "Natla, I see your goal and am your puppet no longer." Whatever partnership they had dissolved because of what he found there, and it must have been of major significance, because I have never known father to desecrate a site like that. But he left a clue that I believe tells me where he concealed the artifacts and information he recovered from Thailand. Giant spiders. These giant spiders must have come back from Thailand with everything that father brought back from Bhagavati. Father believed that the myth of the Midgard serpent reveals that Avalon holds the answer to my mother's fate, but also a terrible weapon that Natla must never find. It is a testament to his determination that he kept such dangerous secrets intact here, in the hope that I alone would find them in the event of his death. As much as I want to discover what happened to my mother in Nepal all those years ago, I may have to reconsider whether it's worth the risk of also unleashing this destructive force.